do. Y'all, I don't know if you're familiar with the South Main Mercy Center, but they do a whole lot for the community here in Anderson. And I know I, for one, really appreciate what you guys do for people. If it wasn't for places like this, I'd be in a lot of trouble. Thank you. But hey, y'all, my name is David. I'm an alcoholic and a drug addict of the hopeless variety. I'm also the founder of Cuts for Confidence. We're a nonprofit that provides free haircuts at children's homes, homeless shelters, soup kitchens, elementary schools, drug rehabs, and a whole lot more. I know there's some of you in this room that we've cut your hair before. Good to see you. We believe in restoring dignity and hope through something as simple as like a free haircut. But I want to take you back about 5 years ago. You see, 5 years ago, I was riding around in a stolen Penske truck, smoking meth and stealing everything that wasn't nailed down. At one point, I even crawled up under that Penske truck, cut off the catalytic converter, and sold it for $20 in the whole pack. Can I get a come on? But I don't say that to glorify that lifestyle or really to be funny. I say it because I just need y'all to know that if God can use somebody as hopeless, as broken, and as self-centered as I was, then He can use every one of you in this room too. If you fast forward about 2.5 years after that, I was sitting in a cold prison cell, staring out at the gate, through the razor wire, thinking of, what life is going to be like on the other side. And I promise you, I had no idea the life that God had planned for me on the other side of that fence. And maybe you're in a prison too. Maybe it's not a prison of steel and concrete. Maybe it's a prison of sickness, or pain, or hurt, or addiction, or homelessness. But I'm telling you, there's still hope for you today. Like, I had no idea that God would take everything that I had been through and use it as a way to bring glory to Himself, as a way to bring compassion and hope and dignity to other people, but that's exactly what He did. I believe with all of my heart, because I've seen it with my own eyes, that He can do that for you too. In 2023, when I was still in prison, I got on the phone with a man named Bradley Saxon, and he runs a rehab down the street called the Bridge Center. He told me he knew a way to free me from my addiction, and he said he'd help me find that path. But he said there was a catch. He said once you get it all together, it'll be your turn to go out and help somebody else. It's like the world's coolest pyramid scheme, you know what I'm talking about? But like that promise changed everything. From there, I began to say yes. First, I said yes to going to rehab. Then I said yes to getting a job that I really didn't want. And then one day, somebody asked if I'd be willing to go cut hair at a homeless shelter on one of my days off. And that yes led to another and another and another. And now here we are, thousands of free haircuts later, across 9 different states, coast to coast. But you know, it didn't start with some big dream or some perfect plan. It all started with surrender. It started with me finally laying down my plans and my ideas for how I wanted my life to go. And I'm just turning it over to the care of God as I understood Him at the time. It started with somebody who had been through what I had been through and believed in me because they knew there was a better way. Or somebody who said, look, when you get better, turn around and help the next guy out. That's what my life is all about. That's what Cuts for Confidence is all about. It's not just about haircuts. It's about dignity. It's about offering second chances. It's about giving people a reason to lift their head again and think that maybe, just maybe, their story's not over yet. Listen, every one of us has a different purpose. Our purposes are unique as every one of us in here. But I believe with everything in me that God has a plan for each and every one of us, no matter what we've done, no matter where we've been, no matter what we're still struggling with. It doesn't really matter if you drove here today in a Mercedes or if you walked in barefoot. It doesn't matter if you live in a mansion down the street on Lake Hartwell or if you sleep behind the old abandoned mill back here. It really doesn't matter if you shot dope in the bathroom this morning before you came to the service, or if you're still trying to figure out if there's even a reason to breathe anymore. I'm standing here to tell you, as somebody who's never had it together in my life before, somebody who got it wrong over and over and over again, that God still had a plan for me. And I promise you, He's got one for you too. Now, I'm not up here trying to tell you all this because I think I'm better than anybody or anything like that. I'm here because somebody helped me and they dared me to go help somebody else when I got better. say yes. Say yes to getting honest. Say yes to taking the next step towards helping somebody else, whatever that step might be for you today. Say yes to letting God in. We never know what God can do. Just a simple yes. Y'all, I've invited Russell up here to speak today, tell us a little bit about his story. Russell is one of our volunteers with Cuts for Confidence, but he also graduated the Bridge Center just like I did. Russell has really embodied that spirit of just saying yes to the next opportunity over and over again, and so I thought I'd love to have him get up here and speak. Thank you for letting me get up here, and y'all listen to Russell.
How y'all doing this morning? I just want to come and share a little testimony about the goodness of God and what He's been able to do in my life. My story is a lot like David's. Hopeless, broken drug addict. Didn't know what to do with my life or if I ever had any purpose. Came from a childhood that was very prevalent with drugs. I was born to a 13-year-old mother. She was molested by her stepfather. I can remember my first traumatic experience. I also had a sibling that she drowned on a family outing at the age of 2 years old. And I just didn't have a lot of supervision as a child. I grew up in what you would refer to these days as a trap house. It's a place where people hung out and did drugs. It all seemed very common to me all throughout my life, like I didn't really know there was a different way. At 11 years old, being an unsupervised child that I was, I shot somebody in the neck with a pellet gun, and I was sentenced to the Department of Juvenile Justice not to exceed my 21st birthday. I stayed in the system until I was 22 years old. At that time, I learned all the wrong ways to live. I became consumed with anger and hate, and I had turned away from God. I had all these misconceptions about how such a powerful God could allow me to go through all these things. And I walked around with this God-sized hole that I tried to fill with everything but God. The drugs, the women, the clothes, the money, just looking for my purpose, and I was unable to find it. And God directed my steps to the Bridge Center, and He put me around men like David Kimbrough and Bradley Saxon, and a group of my brothers that are here today. And it seems that brokenness has begun healing. And I have said yes to some opportunities lately. David did a meeting about saying yes to opportunities, and I've gotten involved with Cuts for Confidence. I've been to the Lot Project to cut hair last week, and before that I was at New Foundation Children's Home. And I'm just standing here mind blown at the way God has begun to use me today. I know that my purpose today is to fit myself to be of maximum service to Him and the people around me. And I just want to attest to the power of prayer and how affirmative prayers release powers by which positive results are accomplished. I just want to encourage you to pray, to picture these things, and they will actualize in your life. Luke 17:21 says, "The kingdom of God is within you. He is the power that can sustain us through all our trials and tribulations." There was times I prayed for the easy road, but God would give me a mountain to climb. On the other side, I would find some strength. That's where I found my hope. It's informing us that God, our Creator, has laid our minds and personalities all the potential powers needed for constructive living. Tap into those powers. Prayer works. If you don't believe in the way that prayer works, you can come talk to me and I'll be glad to share with you how prayer has worked in my life. In Isaiah 40:31 it says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, and they shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not be faint." Today I rely upon God for strength and peace. Even standing here consumed with fear, like I refuse to allow Satan to keep me quiet. God is my strength today. He is my hope. He will sustain me through anything that I need to go through. I've pretty much survived solely on His grace and mercy long enough. His grace is sufficient. His mercy has brought me this far, and I'll never turn away from Him again. In John 10:10 it says, I am come that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Now that doesn't mean it's going to rule out pain and suffering. Like there's things we're going to have to walk through, even as Christians, even with God on our side, but he has a purpose on the other side of that pain. He's the only one that can turn our mess into a message to give the next man hope. And I thank the Bridge Center for what they've done in my life, the men that have been around me, the encouragement I've had, and coming in here this morning. Just to be around such guys has been an inspiration to me, and I'm inspired to do the same for the next man, to carry this message, to carry on how God's worked in my life and how he's given me purpose today. In John 1:4 it says, in him was life, and the life was the light of men. Today I just pray that God continue to put people in my past that I could be the light in their darkness and help them overcome some of the things that I've been through, help them miss some of the holes that I fell in and that have kept me down for so long. And I just love y'all, and I thank y'all for having me today and giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
The story that David told and the story that Russell told can be your story. God is able to take any of our lives and make of them something we never dreamed they could be. The invitation today, we're going to sing the song, Since Jesus Came Into My Heart. That's where it starts, right? Getting Jesus in there. If you feel led this morning to come to this altar and pray, I invite you to do so.